Welcome to the Gearbox Podcast with Jimmy Purdy. We're bringing together industry leaders and those in the daily grind. Whether you're a tech looking to level up or a shop owner navigating the business, or just here for some real talk about the automotive world, we're finding the common ground in entrepreneurship and picking up some valuable tips along the way. So buckle up, let's shift into gear. Listen, if you're anything like me, you know the struggles of inconsistent car count and tight margins. That's where Repair Shop of Tomorrow comes in. They help shop owners like us increase sales, improve efficiency, and grow our businesses with proven strategies. Check them out at repairshopoftomorrow.com today and start growing tomorrow. The podcast is audio only, but this is the first time I've put it on video too. So yeah, try something different, you know?
Yeah.
You got to do something new, right? You always got to try something different.
You got to keep yourself on your toes. If you're not, you're just doing the same thing over and over again.
Oh, man. So what do they say? That's insanity, right?
That's it.
Well, if you don't have expectations, then it's not. But if you're expecting a change and you're doing the same thing, that's insanity.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 And we all do it, man. It's just get caught up in the whirlwind of life sometimes and expect different results. So
well, the infamous Brian Rhodes, your name has been thrown around all day. So I guess I should have known better.
Well, appreciate it, man. It's nice to finally meet you, man.
Yeah, out here in Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Nice and moist. I guess we've been inside all day, so that's the problem I hate with all these conventions and like traveling around the country. It's like, oh man, you get to go so many places, you know, like well, I spent a lot of time outside in Alaska, but like Alaska, Boston, and now Texas and Ohio, and I don't even know where all the other places, but it's like I just see hotel rooms, man.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. When I went to Vision, and they're like, "Hey man, did you get a bunch of barbecue?" I was like, "No, I was kind of at the convention most of the time. Didn't really get to explore around."
That's why I'm a little bummed about being here. It's like I didn't get no barbecue.
Yeah.
Except that little Vietnamese place down the street. Man, the best pho I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Holy moly. That was like, have you been in that market?
Yeah. It's
one
little
right Vietnamese one
from the shop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's legendary.
Yeah.
It's
Is
great.
it?
Yeah. Because you go in there and it's like a whole big cafeteria. You have like a bunch of different options.
Yeah.
About the one right.
Yeah. Right on the corner there. Yeah. And they got all the Vietnamese like foods and like the Oreos and like the Kit Kats, the dark chocolate Kit Kat, like all the stuff that we can't get. Well, I don't see in California anyway. But
the boba teas and all that.
Dude, wow! Like this is good. I had no idea. Like you think of Texas, you think of barbecue, but that was kind of a nice treat.
Yeah. We are renowned for well known for our food out here in Houston. So
a little bit of everything, huh?
A little bit, yeah. I'm born and raised here, so yeah, I'm kind of used to it now. But I mean, people come in town and like, man, I didn't realize that y'all had so much food. There's just like restaurants everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess you just get used to it, you know.
The freshness of the produce, not so much, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm spoiled because I'm in California.
Yeah,
Like the avocados are a little different. not to poke holes or nothing, but I was just gonna.
No.
Yeah, you know, we got the strawberries and the produce and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got the wine out there too. You know.
Oh man, too much wine. It's overwhelming for me. I can't, especially when you're trying to like just not drink it every weekend, you know.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And it's so alluring. Like, and I've noticed like every couple of years, I guess every 7 years your palate changes, right? So it's like the stuff that I didn't like 10 years ago, I'm like, maybe I should try that again. And that's a bad idea. Like, oh man, that is fantastic. Where has this been my whole life? So I was like, I'm just gonna avoid it, right? It's like a good bourbon, right? Like as long as you don't have it, you don't even have the temptation, so you just stay away from it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about starting off track, but that's all right. Get the juices flowing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't know how to segue into that, so we'll just do the hard shift. We'll just grind gears into recruiting.
Yep, let's do it, man.
So we're here with Todd Hayes with Auto Shop Solutions.
Answers.
Auto Shop Answers or Auto Shop Solutions?
Auto Shop Answers.
What Solutions?
Different company.
Is it not Todd Hayes's?
Mm-mm.
Oh, what's Auto Shop Solutions?
I don't know. I think there's another company called that. I think.
Oh man, I've been saying that the whole time. No, you're the first one to correct me.
Hey,
I screwed up, huh? I got Todd Hayes right there, right?
We'll fix it in post.
All right. So moving on. So then I'm not going to butcher your name either because you got Auto Shop Media, but I just quickly learned that that's not your recruiting firm. That's your advertising firm, but you have an Auto Shop.
We're Auto Shop Recruiting.
We're Auto Shop Recruiting. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. And there's Auto Shop Media. There's Auto Shop Answers. There's Auto Shop Callbacks.
Okay.
There's a few of us. So.
But you're not the Auto Shop Media that is the hiring firm. So that's don't confuse that.
No,
I just wanted to get that clear because I confused that and I don't want my listeners to.
Nope.
Totally different.
It's a whole other thing.
So what's your Well, yeah, let's just get into it.
Yeah.
What is it that you specialize in, or what differentiates you from the other recruiting companies?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So Auto Shop Recruiting, we've been in business almost 2 years, actually a little over 2 years. And so we are a full suite of auto shop recruiting, technicians, service advisors, service managers for independent and aftermarket space. So we are a lot different than our competitors in that we actively go out and we find passive candidates. We're calling into shops. We're calling on social media. We have access to contact information for probably about 75 to 80% of the country. We're calling through referrals and networking. We're going after the people that are currently working. We're not doing the post and pray, model where you post an ad and kind of pray for people to come to you, or post a Facebook ad or whatever the case is. We're aggressive that we're actually going to go out and we're going to find the people for you. So just a little bit different.
Yeah, that's I mean, I think that's what a lot of owners should be doing on their own. And I'm guilty of like posting something on Indeed or Monster as a recruiter or Craigslist. Yep. And then like, I don't get any resumes. So I'm like, but there's a technician shortage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not getting anybody applying. So there must be nobody looking for work.
Yep.
I really like the thought of anyone that's got an active resume is not who you want. Right. And honestly, that's always kind of been in the back of my head. And it was kind of a good clarification to hear that today. Yeah. Like you really want the technicians that are working, and those are the ones that aren't going to be on Indeed.
Yep.
And it's funny because that revelation came to me because I go on Indeed and I'll use the smart sourcing tab. I don't know if you're familiar. So I'll go smart sourcing and I'll look at resumes, and I'll just look at stuff that's like, I used to do 3 months. I'm like, okay, if they've been active in the last 3 months, they obviously got pissed off at work, and I can send them a message. Now I just take that off. And I just like, if their qualifications on the resume meet what I'm looking for, I just send them a message, right? Like I'm just like, and I'll send them a couple messages, right? Mm-hmm. I just like, and I do it at least once a week. I go on there and I try to find at least 3 or 4. And I just send them messages, right? Mm-hmm. So it's probably kind of similar to what, I mean, it's not as like heavy, but it's just a little more proactive way of doing it. And my last 2 hires came from that.
Good. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there is people out there. Right. But you have to reach out to them.
Yep.
Because they're busy working, as they should be.
Yep.
I was talking to my service manager and we had an interview, and I'm coming up in about a week actually. And I'm pretty excited about it. Like, it's like one of the like most solid resumes I've seen in a long time. I'm like, we need this dude. And he scheduled an interview from a week. I'm like, dude, you need to call him right now.
Yep.
Call him right now.
Time kills all deals.
So he calls him and he didn't answer. He's like, it was like 3:00. It's like, he didn't answer. I'm like, he already passed the test. Right? Because like, if he answers his phone at 3:00 in the afternoon on Thursday, what are you doing, man? Yeah. You shouldn't be answering your phone at 3:00 on Thursday. So it's like, damn, he already passed the first step, and then he called us back at like 5:30, right? Yep. I'm like, dude, we need to like do whatever you can. And it's like, I guess he's busy, but anyway, it was just an interesting like thing that I was like, didn't even think about that kind of stuff, right? Yep. And before that, I just needed a warm body, right? So I'm like, you better answer my phone call right now because I need you to come in. Like, or you sent the interview request, and it's like, and like, I'll be there, in a day. And it's like, do you really want that guy? Like, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's interesting because there's so many nuances to it that you don't really think about because you're so desperate by the time you're hiring that you're just like, I just need someone here today now to help me with this work. Mm-hmm. And we don't like think far enough into the future to be proactive about it. Yeah. And it's a very interesting thing that I've like recently come to terms with. Like, just you need to hire now for later.
Build a bench. I mean, a lot of shops are reactive to the recruiting. Like, hey, I have an open spot. Technician just walked out on me. I got to start recruiting. That's not the right case. You need to be always being recruiting, always building a bench, always interviewing, because you never know when that day's going to come. Somebody's going to walk out. Somebody's going to move. If something happens. If you're constantly recruiting, constantly keeping people coming through the door, then it makes it a lot easier for people to pick up the phone and open up a file. Of, hey, this is 3 guys I got on standby that are waiting to come in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you bring a shop on, do you have like a list? I guess you would need to know what area they're in, but how does the process work for you? Mm-hmm. Like, how do you start establishing that in like certain areas?
On the shop side?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like when we partner with shop, first thing is we want to jump on a call with them. We want to learn more about them because I can't recruit for shops that are, they're constantly turning people over. They have bad reputations. They have terrible, ugly shops. They don't pay benefits. Bad compensation.
So you got to qualify the shop first.
We do. Yeah, because what happens is if, and we've tried this many times, we've worked with some smaller shops that just are not there yet. And, our services, we can sit there and we can find you great people, but, whenever they start, recruiting turns to retention. And if you can't retain people, you're just going to be cycling people through the door constantly. So we really want to be picky about the shops we work with. We want to make sure that, from the client perspective of the shop, it's a great shop, because from the candidate perspective, if I'm going to go and I'm going to get somebody and say, hey man, I have an amazing opportunity, this is going to change your life, I need to make sure that I can back that up. And if I can't, and they go interview, they're like, Brian, what the heck are you talking about? That shop's not going to change my life. Or, if they end up moving and going over there and working there, and, a month in, they realize, man, this place has no cars, the leadership's terrible, or whatever the case is, then it's harder to sleep at night if I'm taking people out of a bad.
Well, and they're probably not going to use you again to get placed, and then they're probably going to tell a lot of their friends the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like anything else in retail, right? You got to set the standards and set the expectations, and know that where you're placing them is going to be better than where they're at.
Exactly.
Because why the hell would they move?
Exactly. We were talking about this actually earlier today about poaching people, and recruiting is poaching. I mean, you're going to have to go, and if you want to find the best of the best, you're probably going to call into another shop. You're going to call someone who's already working, because like Glenn Piccolo, who you met, and he's running the training here. He runs the $1 million Adams Automotive here in Houston. He's never had a resume. He's been in the business 25 years. So if you want to recruit a Glenn Piccolo or one of these type of guys, if you're posting an ad, you're not going to find them.
Very true.
You kind of have to think outside the box and go after these guys. But I want to be able to sleep good at night that every person I've ever placed into a new situation has an amazing opportunity for them and their family, that they're going to either make more money or just better quality of living, better work-life balance, or whatever the case is, the reason that they wanted to make a change.
Yeah, that's the idea of changing lives, right? That's what makes it all work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anybody can take money as a recruiter and find some shop somewhere and take their money to place somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the game,
Yeah.
It's just like fixing a car. Like, fixing the car is the standard. Like, anybody can pull a car into the shop and fix it, right? That's not what we want to do, right? We want to provide a service that's better than just fixing the car. And so, like I said, it just trickles down in every other aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in recruiting now for 16 years. And when I first got into it, I worked for one of the larger, Fortune 500 staffing companies. And every person that they would place, it was a number, it was a metric. That's all they saw those candidates as. And I remember I worked there for 2 years, and I told myself when I left there, I was like, man, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm not going to see these candidates. I'm going to see them as people. These are people with families, with lives that we are absolutely changing. I'm not going to see them as a check mark on a spreadsheet or a number or a quota that they have to hit. No, that's just not the way of doing it. And I think when I really changed my mindset on that is when I really just fell in love with the recruiting industry. I was like, man, this is just such an amazing career, doing it this long. But, I know there's a lot of careers that people can be doing out there, and you start talking about doctors and nurses and firefighters. I really feel like I have one of the most rewarding jobs because I'm able to make such a great impact on people's lives.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to get rid of that negative connotation of poaching, right? And I mean, honestly, up till about 4 hours ago, I wasn't into it either. Like, it's a scary thought. And growing up in a small town, right, from Paso in California, it was like 28,000 was our population when I graduated high school. So it's a fairly small town. I mean, it's almost doubled in size in the last 20 years now. I don't want to think about that. We'll just go right past that one. My 20-year high school reunions this year, I'm like, what the hell just happened to me?
I got 25.
Yeah. Sorry to make you feel bad. I'm glad you feel worse than me, though. So now I feel a little bit better. But to watch the population increase like that, right? It's just wild. And I guess my point is being in a small town, like, you don't take, like, it feels like you're taking food away from someone else, like from food from somebody else's mouth. Like, you go into a shop and you take one of their techs. Now you're just like, now they're down a tech, right? And I have the empathy to, like, well, I know what it feels like to be down a tech because that's why I'm poaching somebody else, right? And it's like, now I'm taking their tech and they're going to feel like me, right? But I don't realize is that technician is leaving under their own terms, right? Like that's what I have to put in my head. And I think a lot of people listening or like anybody else out there is like, you got to remember, like they're leaving because they're not happy. And you gave them now the opportunity to make their life better. Right. And maybe they feel like there is nowhere to go and they don't want to post on Indeed. And it's like, there's like a lot of the what ifs, right? Like, what if I go to another shop and it's worse? And it's like, it's tough, man. It's tough to make a change. It's like being stuck in a bad relationship, right? Like, well, you know, all my CDs are in his truck, so I'd have to go get them back. So I'll just stay with him, right? Like the old CDs in the truck, right? Like it's a real thing though. Like you're staying with the guy because you have a pack of CDs in your truck. And all it takes is some guy to come along and be like, I'll buy you, like, I'll buy a whole new pack of CDs. Like, let's get out of there. And then I'm going to treat you right. And I'm not going to yell at you. And I'm like, oh, man, my life's going to be so much better.
Yeah.
That's a really weird analogy. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
works. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you have to go there and get in front of these guys and be like, look, this is what I'm offering. Is any of this stuff better than what you're getting now? Because it should be.
Yeah.
Because I appreciate the industry and I appreciate what you do. And if you're a good qualified A-level technician, this is what you should be getting. And if you're not, I'm going to give it to you, right? Because what's the alternative? They get out of the industry.
Yep.
And now we have a technician shortage.
Yep.
Right? Like, so without giving them that offer and then showing that to them, yeah. And so I can understand where your passion comes from because you probably see it a lot more than I do, obviously. And it's probably a lot of the conversations that you have, I'm assuming.
Yep. And I mean, if I'm talking to somebody and they love where they're working at, and man, I love my manager, I love the shop, I love my team. I'm like, man, that's fantastic, dude. I appreciate your time, man. Have a great rest of the day. You know, I'm not going to sit there and twist somebody's arm. I will say, like, hey, is there anything that you change about your opportunity, your job, if you had the ability to do so? And like, man, you know, I really don't feel like I'm going anywhere here. Like, there's nowhere. It's just I hit a ceiling here or something, whatever the case is, whatever that professional frustration is. Then like, man, let's talk about that. I mean, is there something out there that can fulfill that for you? Because obviously you're bringing it up. It's important to you, you know? So if there's not something that's really going on in the person's life that we can actually fix or really change their life by, you know, better compensation, better work-life balance or whatever the case is, then, you know, I'm not poaching on that person, you know. It's just a different type of setup at that point. Creating
an opportunity, I guess, is a better word, maybe better speak of words. It's just some of these things have such a black label on them, and like one of those is like poaching, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them in this industry, right? Like it's like that just gets a negative, like just the industry as in whole. Like, oh, you're going to a mechanic shop, black label right away, right? You're gonna get ripped off. Your car's gonna leave greasy. You know, they're going to sell you a bunch of stuff you don't need. Like instantly, there's just like this instant label, right? And we're all about not setting labels, but then we're doing it internally with ourselves. Instead of the shop owner saying, oh man, that guy freaking poached me, right? Like, well, maybe you're an asshole.
Yeah.
maybe you're not fun to work for. Maybe you're not paying them enough, right? But it's not. It's no. That guy poached for me, and now I hate that guy, right? And it turns into like this pissing match. Yeah. This personal pissing match of like, I'm going to make sure I badmouth that shop, you know, to the end of the earth because he stole one of my employees. Yeah. Like he stole your employee. Do you even hear yourself speaking right now?
Person, yeah.
You know, like, but it's true. But honestly, like I'm guilty of it, you know? Mm-hmm. And it stings. It's hard. Like I've had guys taken from me, right? Or stolen from me, or I don't know. How do I say that without sounding like I own them? You get what I'm saying, right?
Departed.
Yeah. I've had guys go to better opportunities, right? Even though I thought I've got it all figured out, right?
Yeah. And sometimes they come right back. You know, you never know. I mean,
I've never taken anybody back.
No.
I've had a pretty hard rule of like, once you're gone, you're gone.
You're dead to me.
Yeah, you're dead to me. But that's my ego. That's what I'm saying. I'm just as guilty of it, right? Like I've done the same damn things, had the same damn mindset. And it's limiting, right? And it's, I don't know, like there's no playbook. Like what's the playbook when it comes to hiring?
Man, I don't know what it's about automotive, but yeah, I said this on another discussion I had a couple of days ago. Every industry does it. I mean, the poaching or the, you know, reaching out to, you know, if I'm going to recruit a CFO, I'm going to call a CFO if I at another company similar to that, same industry. So you have to go to where the people are. You know, if they're not applying to jobs, if the type of quality that you're getting from the people that are applying to jobs is not there, then you actually have to go and find them in their place, in their job. And for some reason, Yeah, the automotive industry just takes it a lot more personally than I think a lot of the industries do.
Yeah, look at bartenders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like in the winery industry, man, like it is like not uncommon to like walk into a tasting room and then a week later walk into another tasting room and the person that served you is in that one now. And you're like, what the hell? Oh yeah, I'm just working here now. Like, and they just get passed around. Like, it's just wild. The industry is like out of control. It's like kind of half party. I don't know if you've ever seen the wine industry on that aspect, but it's man, once you're in the industry, you are partying like every night, right? And it's like they just like, hey, why don't you work for me now? And it was like there's past people, and it's like it's wild. It's like wild, wild west. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but there's no shame behind it, right? Like it is what it is. There's no loyalty. Like, oh, I really like working for this bar. It's like, no, I don't know about that. I guess the thought of like walking into a shop and walking up to one of their techs and like, hey, I got an opportunity for you. I mean, it's like the smartest thing I've ever heard, but also like shady, like borderline, like it's just something in your brain, like this imaginary wall that I've set up. Like that's wrong. Like, but then like break that down, like break that barrier down. Why is that wrong?
So, and it doesn't even have to get that far. Like a lot of times, like I don't have to walk into shops because I can find them in other ways. Like you don't have to physically walk into a shop. I very, very rarely have to call into a shop because the way that information is just so available to us these days, either through resources we have or just Googling people or content or social media, a lot of times I can find them through different sources. And if I can't, then I'm going to call somebody that used to work with them. And that's one thing, like, hey, I know that there's a great technician that works at XYZ shop. I don't have a number for him. I can find somebody who used to work there and call that person and say, hey, Joe, you used to work with Larry. Hey, what's his number? And I'll get it from that way. There's so many ways that you don't actually have to physically walk into a shop. But yeah, I've heard some pretty aggressive stories in especially the last couple of years of people doing some wild stuff. So it's not always necessary to go that far.
I like that lube tech ad, right? Like,
yep.
Because you can get lube. I mean, I got probably 3 interviews a week, and that was pretty game changing for me. I get these guys come in, 2 years experience. I ask them a few questions pretty quickly. I'm like, you're nowhere near what I need right now. Thank you for coming in. I'm gonna keep your resume, right? But I've never thought to be like, hey, is there somebody that you're working for or with or that you know? Right.
Yeah. Well,
and getting that information.
Tell me about like not is there, but the open-ended, like, no, tell me about the best technician that you've worked with. Man, what'd you learn from him? What did you enjoy? Why'd you enjoy working with him? Because those lube techs, I mean, when they're working at shops, they are sponges and they're looking around, they're watching all the other technicians, they're absorbing. Sometimes they're idolizing some of the best guys, or they're just learning from them. And like, man, tell me about, and who's your foreman over there? Who'd you learn the most from? Man, Thomas. Thomas is great. Tell me more about him. And I'd love to talk to Thomas. What's a good number for Thomas? And they're a little bit more easier sometimes to get more information versus, a 25-year technician that thinks, hey, I'm the best in the business. There's nobody better than me. I'm not going to refer you to anybody else because I'm the best. It's just a different type of setup. You're able to get a lot more information from those guys, and you can either spin it in a way of, man, I want to get more information, or maybe I'm checking references, or hey, I think you're great. Who would vouch for you, man? Who's a service advisor that you've worked with that's really good at what they do? And then I think asking for referrals from everybody that you meet, whenever you just make it a normal part of your life. If you're at the grocery store, man, hey, who works on your car? Who do you trust to work on your car? I ask that almost every day when I'm just out and about. I might be at a gas station, might be at a restaurant, I might be at church, wherever. It's just you're constantly getting information, constantly getting referrals from everybody.
Yeah, that's a huge golden nugget. I mean, it really is though. Like, because we get so stuck in the thought of like posting an ad and where are the people, right? Or just putting the help wanted sign in the window. I got the help wanted sign on my window. Where are all the people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you pull up into a grocery store or Walmart, there's 300 cars out there. Those 300 cars have to be fixed. And you're talking to somebody there like, hey, so-and-so, hey, nice to meet you. I run a shop over here. Who works on your car? And, are you happy with them? They take good care of you? You can, obviously the conversation will spur off that. But,
yeah, exactly.
Really, you're going to get leads wherever you're at. You just have to be able to ask for them in the right manner.
I've also heard the other ad of like, if you want an A-level or like a diagnostician, right? So you get a picoscope.
Mm-hmm.
A picoscope, and then you post a picoscope for sale online.
Facebook, yep.
Yeah. And then you see who inquires about it.
Yep. Yep, that one works too. You can build
Have
splits
you used that one?
I have. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard it a lot, but I've never actually heard anybody execute it.
I've done that. I did. The last time I did it was probably about 6 months ago. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the other one I'll do is I'll jump.
Do you sell them a Picoscope, or you just tell them it's sold already?
I sold already. There's sometimes I'll do it for trade. Hey, looking to trade this, this scan tool, and the people that are going to reach out to you are trading other scan tools or other types of equipment. So either I'll build a list and reach out to them like, hey, we sold that, or hey, let's talk about, I'll give up the scan tool if I have to, if it's a great technician. But the other thing I'll do is a Facebook marketplace, and I'll go on there and see who's selling their toolboxes. You'll get sometimes a guy who's a junior technician, or, maybe even a master tech who's upgrading their box. And, if you see a big, Snap-on box, and like, hey, let me reach out to this person. He's probably a technician, or like an, angry ex-wife who's selling off her ex-husband's tools or something like that. But,
either way, maybe you'll get a good deal.
Deal. Hey, you talk to the ex-wife, maybe, hey, we want to get your ex-husband more alimony for you. We want to get him a better job. So.
You should have him reach out if you want to get more money. Oh, that's getting deep.
That actually happened last week. One of my recruiters, man, Wop Daddy, dude. He was on the phone, like, and so when we find out, like, a lot of our leads that we get are through conversations, like, who's the best, and so Wop Daddy, we call him. He was reaching out to somebody, and he's like, hey, I hear there's this great technician. This is his name. I don't have his number, so we run his name through some of our contact information databases that we have subscriptions for. And there's no numbers for it, but he has a number for his ex-wife. So he literally calls the ex-wife, and she's cussing him out like, why are you calling me? And they didn't have the great reputation or relationship, excuse me. And he used that. That's why it's fresh on my head. It's like, ma'am, do you get alimony? Because like, we're trying to give him a better opportunity. You will make more money in having alimony if we can get him a better job. And she literally said, that's a great point. Here's his phone number. That happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
That's wild. But at least you got his contact info.
That's all. Yeah,
that's the point, right?
We just want to talk to this guy, and if it's a great fit, man, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him in line for the opportunity. But we'll talk to like college roommates. We'll talk to former coworkers.
Except he probably wanted a cash job because he doesn't want the. So I was like,
yeah, under the table stuff. Yeah.
You got anything under the table?
Can I get a second offer letter, just a little bit different?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But yeah, stuff like that. And then, we'll talk to grandmothers often. It's not, a lot of times that's not on purpose. It's because, some of the contact information databases we have, you'll have John Smith, and there'll be like 6 numbers, and, some of those numbers are him, some of them are his grandmother, some of his son. So you have to get a little creative sometimes and be on your toes.
You just call through everybody.
Yeah.
A lot of phone calls on.
Yeah. Just dialing for dollars, basically. We're trying to get placements here. You know? The guys I got on my team, man, they're some of the best recruiters in the industry. I mean, I got 5 guys that are recruiting. They're hammers, dude. I mean, I'm sure you've heard hammer a couple times today. Yeah. And when I say hammer, man, they're just closers, man. They want to get people on the phone. They're going to get them excited and engaged, and get them to the table. They're not just posting ads. They're not just going to wait for somebody to come to them. They're going to go out and find them and create opportunities.
Is there a certain script that you try to stick to with those conversations, or you just kind of feel it out organically? We have some like qualifier questions that we stick to. We have a script for that, like for technicians or managers or advisors. It could be 10, 15 questions, but I mean, really the conversation spurs off of those. And so, we'll go into it. And obviously for technicians, we're going to do technical ability questions like, years of experience, their tool investment, their experience with scan tools, oscilloscopes. We'll give them certain scenarios, certain P codes. How would you diagnose this P code? How would you not, P5, P0456, a P0171, what a lean condition or that code? What would you do in this situation? And really, we're trying to discern, what's their process? Like, are they going to throw parts at the situation, or are they actually going to diagnose the condition? So for technicians, we're getting very detailed on the technical side. For advisors and managers, man, those calls take a little bit longer for me. Those calls can be sometimes 45 to 60 minutes long, where technicians, I can figure it out probably about 20 to 30 minutes. Sure. Because service advisors, you can't write on a resume amazing with customers or servant's heart or closer. I mean, all those things, I really need to fill somebody out. I need to do a little role playing with that person. I want to see, I gotta see what their personality's like. All those soft skills, I mean, you need to get some time in, and I need time to break down the interview wall with that person so I can start to open, see who this person actually is. Yeah, hear some war stories and Yeah. I
Make
think
them feel comfortable.
that's the biggest one for me is I always just try to get into the war stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to know like, hey, man, I have this guy. I always bring up something like I got this car at the shop right now, man. And we put, thought it was this and it wasn't. And sure enough, it's like, oh, I had something like that happen. Like, what's your mindset? What do you do when that happens? Right. Like, what do you do? Do you go on YouTube? Do you like, what's your process behind when things go wrong? Like, that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Because everything goes well when it goes right. But what happens when it goes wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like freak out?
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about your last 3 comebacks.
Do you get a lot of resistance when it comes to like, when you get into like, because you're interviewing them now, but they didn't really sign up for that, right? Mm-hmm. So you're reaching out to them and now you're qualifying them.
Yeah.
Like, how do you break that wall down, or do you get any resistance when it comes to that kind of stuff?
Less than 5% of the time. Less than 5% of the time, somebody's like, man, I don't really feel comfortable answering these. I would rather talk to the shop owner if I have to,
Okay.
Yeah, it's very little. Most of the time, the way that we're pitching and selling the opportunity to the person, it's a full-on elevator speech. Like, let me tell you about this amazing shop. That the owner is so-and-so. This is the culture that he has worked really hard to build, and he fights like crazy to keep. This is the benefits. These are the pay. This is what you would get. This is the conditions, it's AC or whatever the bells and whistles of the opportunity are. And then I want to tell you more about this opportunity. Do you have a few minutes to chat? Like, man, that sounds great. Let's talk. Okay, cool. I'm going to go through some questions here. I want to learn a little bit more about you. Let's get going. So, and then I'll just fire them off. And usually it's more of a organic conversation at that time.
Yeah.
It's definitely not robotic. What are your years of experience? What is your strengths? What are your weaknesses?
That's the differentiating factor there.
Hey, sorry to cut in, but I got to let you know about our exclusive coaching partner of the Gearbox podcast, Repair Shops of Tomorrow. If you're ready to take your shop to the next level with proven strategies for profitability, ARO growth, and operational efficiency, visit repairshopsoftomorrow.com and start shifting your business into high gear.
This room's like perfect for a podcast lawyer.
Yeah, it works pretty good, huh? Yeah. Other than the damn internet. I'll just have to edit that little blink out there. But well, I guess getting down to the end of this thing, I just want to get a little bit more about your background. So I know we were talking about Josh Parnell a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And so you're with Christian Brothers, I'm assuming.
Yep.
I'm just gonna make that assumption.
Yeah.
Well, you want to get into that a little bit? Like, what was the background?
So yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about this earlier. I started off. I've been in the industry 16 years recruiting in general, and so I did a professional level first. Accounting and finance, administrative, HR for about the first 3 years, and then moved into manufacturing. So skilled labor, equipment operators, machinists, from 2013 to 2017, and then joined Christian Brothers in 2017. And they really didn't have a large recruiting foundation. They weren't really doing a lot of recruiting for the shops. There was like 1 or 2 people that were doing it. So I joined there and really kind of wrote the formula for the recruiting process there, kind of built out a lot of the processes and grew a team. We had about 4 or 5 recruiters on staff at any given time.
Wow.
And was there for 6 years. And in 2023, exited the organization. Some changes were being made with the recruiting process, and so joined Adams Automotive shortly after that. And Todd reached out to me and recruited me, and he's got a great story on that one. I can't tell it as great as he does, but it's one of those things. Like he's like, I prayed for you. I went on LinkedIn and I saw your profile, and in your subject line it says servant leader specializing in talent acquisition. And he tells the story all the time. He's like, God, you're so cute. I see you, and so he's like, yeah, I prayed for you, man. And he reached out to me, and I didn't know much. I know about Adams a little bit, just being here in Houston. And so I joined. Initially, it was to recruit for the internal shops, which was about 8 shops at that point. And joining, filling positions pretty quickly coming in. I was like, guys, we're going to run out of positions here pretty soon. So I made the suggestion. I was like, man, with all of the companies that we work with on the Auto Shop Answers side, I was like, man, we really could launch a recruiting company and kind of work with, shops all around the country. And that Todd Hayes again is like, aren't you cute? And I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, we already thought about that. We were going to do that anyways. And by the way, you're the managing partner. You're running it now. I'm like, okay, great. So we launched about 2 years ago. And we've had a great first 2 years. We've made probably about 350, 375 placements across the country.
Wow.
We're in probably about 22 states now. We've done some work up in Canada as well. We're moving across the nation. We're having a great time. I have a team of there's 5 of us. I'm looking to add probably number 6 and number 7 pretty quickly here. and we work all over the country, and mostly the aftermarket independent side.
Do you have a hard time finding placements for your own company?
No, you know what? That's funny because
It's like a mechanic's car that's broken, right?
yeah. So I hired Sam, and Sam's awesome, man. He's been with us now coming up on 3 months, and he handles all the internal recruiting now, so I could focus all on the external side. And man, when you run an Adams Automotive 53 lifts, averaging over they records like 1.2 million in a month. It's easy to recruit for them whenever you get the person in the door. It's like, man, come see the shop. Let me show you what we're doing here. And we don't have a lot of people reject offers.
I can see that.
Yeah. They definitely have a bench of technicians. They're like, man, when you have a spot open, I want to join. And I will say, the difference is for technicians, we can find a lot of guys, but for service advisors, it is recruiting for the NFL. You're looking for top, like in your average repair shop. Yeah. Like, hey, I want top 25%, players. In recruiting front of the house guys for Adams, you want top 1%. And so it is we're very selective, the type of people. They have to be closers. They have to be great customer service people. They have to, we call them hammers. We call them closers. We call them studs. We have all these different words for them. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a fun grind.
I guess the process of onboarding, once you find the candidate, is easy, but the process to get to that would obviously be the hard part.
Yeah,
like it's an easy sell. Like once they're at the door,
yeah,
like it's a done deal, right?
We can attract the talent,
right?
Now deciding is are they the right seat on the bus? Are they the right person on the bus? A lot of times we have to decide, hey man, this guy's not going to cut it. Unfortunately. So yeah, super high standards, but I mean when you're doing the type of numbers, auto hospitality, world-class service, and, all the growth that we've been experiencing over the last 2 years. We need the best people. It's the NFL, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is there any particular reason that you moved from Christian Brothers to kind of venturing out that you want to get into?
Yeah, I'm going to get to it. So in 2023, they were really changing up the way that they would be supporting the franchisees. And so we had always hands-on recruited for, when I started, there was 165 locations. When I left, it was about 280. And so we recruited for all locations. And they were trying to basically lower the amount of support that they were going to be offering the franchisees. So instead of actually hands-on recruiting for them, it was more of like, let's create a training department. Let's teach them how to fish. Because the franchising world, I mean, there's less than 10% of franchise organizations that actually have recruiting departments because they try not to touch that because of some legal issues that can come up with joint employer. So
interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of franchise organizations, like if you look at Midas, Meineke, Precision Tune, we have some guys here. I mean, there's a lot of franchise organizations. They do not recruit for their franchisees. You have to do it on your own. And so that was kind of playing into.
I guess that goes back to like you placing a technician or an advisor into an unvetted shop, kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not able to vet because they're probably not too hands-on enough with the franchisee. Is that kind of like the thought process?
Well, the thought process is a separation of Christian Brothers corporate versus Christian Brothers location.
Correct.
And so they really want to make sure that the franchisees are recruiting on their own versus corporate recruiting for them, because that connection can lead to certain types of risk issues of joint employer or other types of.
You told me it was going to be this and it's this, or yeah.
So corporate doesn't want to be seen as the hiring authority for an independent shop. It's the easiest way to say that.
Yeah, that's like the same as having my service manager do the hiring instead of me, the owner, doing the hiring.
Mm-hmm. Like who's the employer?
Huh?
Who would be the employer? Yeah, like I agree.
Yeah. It should be the service manager, right? Like you should be doing the hiring of the service department.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, obviously, I still want to be there and have my hand in it. But
yeah,
I think it should be the manager, right? Like if you're going to manage the employee day to day, you should probably have the say in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it's going to be their process and the way that they're running it. So their opinion should matter. Absolutely.
It's like the owner stepping over the lines all the time, but then like you're the manager. Why isn't this working? Well, because you keep what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So at that point it was the climate of the department was changing, so it was just a good time. So I exited the organization, and it's the best day of my life because I was able to find where I'm at now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. It always lines up for some reason. Huh?
It is. Yeah. One door closes, another one opens, right? So
it seems like it's like like it's partially open though, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like recruiting, right? Like, or like they call it leapfrogging back in high school. Like you never leave your girlfriend unless you have another one on standby. I'm kidding. Is that wrong? That's a little that's sleazy, isn't it? That's like that. What? I know everyone always gets nervous when I put a help wanted ad out. I'm like, you guys, like I have to always, like I tell, like, oh, you're hiring for another tech? Do we need some? I'm like, yeah, we always need them. Always, man. What
always,
if we
always leave that sign up.
Yeah.
Always,
yeah. Because if you take it down, then you put it up, then they're like, yeah.
Well, who's on the job block?
Yeah. That's exactly what they think too.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. If you always be in recruiting, always have people coming through the door. When the time comes that you actually have to replace somebody, they're not going to be scared. They're not going to think like, what's going on whenever you start interviewing.
Yeah.
So just always tell your guys in your take fives or your morning huddle ups, like, guys, we're always looking for top people. So if you know people, I'll happily pay a referral if you got some people, Yeah,
but they always think they're going to be replaced.
Mm.
I think you got to get that mindset out of them too. Like, because I like that recruiting thing too. Like, have your, but they don't want to tell their friends because it's like, maybe he's going to take my job. Right.
Yeah. They think that share hours with a new person.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just a mindset.
It is.
It's all mindset. One thing I've been learning a lot this weekend.
There's a lot of mindsets going on around here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Very big ones too. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man, great to finally meet you. I was telling you earlier, I was like, man, I recognize the beard, Josh Parnell, and you got some of the best automotive beards.
Oh
in business.
Man, I just trimmed it up a little bit too. It was getting in the way, but it just does this, I mean, you got a good one too. It's just it matches your shirt.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. That was such a pity comment. Like, yeah,
that was a nice one though, right?
Yeah, that was a good one.
No, that was a good way to say you got a lot of gray. That matches your shirt.
Yeah.
It's just wrong. Well, in the ending of this, is there any way someone can get a hold of you if they're interested in what you do, or what's your handle, or how do they?
You can find me on the socials, on LinkedIn, Facebook. If you just want to go to our website, autoshoprecruiting.com, that's probably the easiest. You get all of our contact information off that. And
then how does the process work if someone wanted to do it, like say tomorrow, they wanted to jump on and
they could, on there, there's actually a interest, contact us at the top of it. If you're a candidate, you're looking for a better situation. If you're shopping, you're looking for great people. Either way, we can help out. So what typically happens is I jump on an initial phone call. It's like a 10-minute call, just kind of telling, the person, this is who we are, this is what we do. If it sounds like it's a good fit, then we jump on a video call. I introduce that person to our entire team, and so we put a face with a name. Sometimes I ask, hey, walk me around the shop. Are you on your phone? I'd love to see the place because again, we got to sell that dream, and so it's easier for us to visualize it if we actually see it. But typically, we'll do a video call. Our time to offer is probably about 10 days. So we had a shop that was up in Loveland, Colorado, last Monday. He reached out to us. We started the search on Monday. He needed a top technician. Tuesday, we had 2 master techs in his inbox. Wednesday, he interviewed both of them. Thursday, he made an offer, and then the guy started the next Monday. So in a matter of 48 hours of him reaching out to us, we had 2 guys in his inbox, and he was interviewing. So,
that's wild.
Yeah. So we typically around 10 days, sometimes less, and then it just depends on the market.
Do you have like a guarantee or something that you say, say 2 weeks go by and nothing?
Well, here's the cool thing. Like, we don't have upfront fees. We don't have monthly fees. We don't have subscription fees. We don't have registration fees. Like some of our competitors, they do all that. That's fine. Go for it. I am a pay for performance type of person. We are not going to send an invoice to a shop until we produce, meaning when that person starts. So the screening, interviewing, all that stuff on the front end, we take all that risk on.
Wow.
And so that same shop that I just told you about in Loveland, he said, hey, he asked me the same question. He goes, is there any kind of discount if you don't fill the position within, a few weeks or something?
We've all had the interactions with the other recruiting companies. So that's why I asked.
Okay. Yeah. So he's like, hey, is there any discount if you don't fill it within a couple of weeks? I was like, can I charge you more if I fill it in 2 days? And I ended up filling it in 4 days. So obviously I didn't charge him more for that. But to answer your question, no, we average about 10 days. That's obviously outside of a Denver, Colorado, Houston, Texas, or whatever part of California, different markets are different timelines, but with us not having any type of, payment or any type of money that the person's paying up front, there's nothing we're really guaranteeing them on.
So is there like a percentage based on their salary that's placed, or how?
Typically,
okay.
Yeah, there's a percentage-based system that based off the person's compensation.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so is that based like on the yearly salary? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're expecting them for your Now, if it didn't end up going for the whole year, is that on the shop owner? They're still on the hook for the fee?
Well, the fee is based off of how much the candidate would make. So it's a percentage based off of that. But
Okay.
it's not annual. It's not split up into years of payments. No. Yeah. So
Well, what I mean, like if they were, say, to make $100,000,
I see what you're saying.
if they had $100,000 salary and it was like a 10% commission,
Mhm.
are they on the hook for that $1,000 regardless, whether they work out or not? Did I do the math right on that?
So you're saying if somebody is
10% of 100, that'd be more than that, wouldn't it?
10% of 100 would be
That'd
10.
be 10,000. Yeah,
Mhm.
I knew I did it wrong.
Yeah. So,
I knew as soon as I said it wrong.
yeah. So I mean, we charge the flat rate or the percentage based off of whatever their compensation is right at the beginning.
Okay.
We could break it up in however it works out. But
So I guess my point is it's up to just like closing. Like if the phone rings, right, you got to close the sale. So if you get the tech to the shop, it's up to the shop owner to keep them at the shop.
yeah, because once as a recruiting company, we have control over vetting, finding, getting them to the table, getting them excited. But once that person starts, that's
That's
when
it.
retention starts.
Yes,
And that's
correct.
all those things of, the shop culture, the leadership, the benefits, car count, all those things that keep people there. Because an employee comes for the offer, but stays for the culture. In a lot of shops, if that culture's sour and that person leaves, us as a recruiting company, we don't have control over
Yeah,
retention.
there's nothing you can do about that.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that you got to really take that pill and swallow it hard, because
Mhm.
if you, I had a huge turnover rate a few years ago,
Uh-huh.
and I realized it was me.
Uh-huh.
And that's a hard realization, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, what is wrong with all these people? Oh, it's me.
Oh.
I'm an asshole. Interesting. I'm
Yeah.
not paying enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do an awesome job on the front end of screening the right ones in and the wrong ones out. But whenever the person interviews, we ask our clients, man, give them the same strenuous interview process that you would give anybody. I mean, obviously, whenever that person's sitting in front of you, you're going to see different characteristics or different type of things that you like or do not like.
Yeah, because once you make that hire,
And
pay up.
They're yours, man.
Well, then pay up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So make sure it's going to work.
Yeah. I mean, so our job is to get you great people. And obviously, your job is to vet them that you can keep them and make them thrive.
And that you guys are going to like jive.
Yeah.
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 That like not in 2 months, you're going to be like, I freaking hate this guy.
Which happens. I mean, we the honeymoon phase is over in 60 or 90 days, and you start to see the guy coming in late, or things start to change. I mean, it does happen from time to time. So
People are people.
Yep. Unfortunately,
It's a people business.
that's it. Everything always comes back to people. If you sit there and think about what's going on in your business, why is this not happening? Why is this happening? Most of the time, it's going to come back to people.
Yeah.
And do you have the right people in there?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome, man.
Yeah,
Tons of
thank
great golden nuggets.
Thanks, man.
Man, yeah. Super, super good.
Awesome.
I mean, if nothing else, I needed to hear a lot of this stuff. So I'll be a little selfish with this one. This one was for me, because this is my pain point right now. So I really appreciate you spending some time with me.
Well, I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Of course.
All right, Gearboxers, you know I keep things running smooth, engines and beards alike. That's why I trust the Bearded Brotherhood for top quality, all-natural beard care. From their best-selling Woodsman to my favorite, Thieves, they keep me looking sharp and smelling fresh. Check this out. Get 15% off every order with the code GEARBOX15 at thebeardedbrotherhood.co/Gearbox15. Your beard will thank you.